Hello, and welcome to episode 42 of Friends of the Show. I am Stephen W. Skinner, and this is a podcast where I get to know some of the funniest and nicest people from the internet. They are the friends of the show. This week's friend is Nick Nemeroff, who is and was and continues to be very nice and very funny. Nick tells us about some of the challenges of a seemingly straightforward journey from Montreal to Toronto. Shout out to Butter, and remember to tip when appropriate. And we get some great questions submitted by our listeners. Be sure to follow at FOTS Pod on Twitter and send your questions for a future guest. Now, this is Friends of the Show, episode 42 with Nick Nemeroff.
It's a funny thing being in a punk band. Sometimes you have to turn your back on a soda you really love. Patrick Stickles from Titus Andronicus.
Titus Andronicus, the tweets in all caps band. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. That's the same one.
They just have that caps lock just stuck. It's just on all the time.
It could be that, yeah. They, they like to be heard.
That they're loud and proud. So thank you for the great quote. For the listeners, very excited to talk to my guest this week. Nick is a comedian, originally from Montreal, currently based out of Toronto, and one of my favorites to follow online on all platforms, and also great live. Tours, does comedy, hosts a monthly show, Sk8orDie at hotmail.com, at Comedy Bar with Gavin Pounds, and also is a very nice person and has a lot of great comedy credits to his name. So welcome, Nick Nemeroff.
Hey, Stephen. Thank you for having me and for saying that I'm very nice.
Yeah, that's like, there's two requirements for friends of the show, to be funny and nice in any combination. So check both boxes. You check both boxes. So really, really happy to have you on. Thank you again for joining me, as I mentioned, on Hollywood's brightest night.
Oh, yeah. Do we mention that we're recording this the night of the Oscars?
The Oscars, the big show. So Jimmy Kimmel's doing his thing, and we're doing our thing over here. So let's get into it. Let's get to know you. Tell us about yourselves. Originally from Montreal, parlez-vous français?
Oui, je parle français, mais je suis très mauvais à parler français.
Moi aussi, parle français, mais pas très bon, because if you don't use it, you lose it. Is that correct?
I would say that's true, yeah. I only speak French to, people who work in Montreal when I go back to Montreal, and that's about it.
And do you fit in with your accent? Because sometimes if you start speaking French in a broken accent, they'll just sort of switch to English. That's happened.
Yeah, that happens probably 100% of the time I try to speak French to someone in Montreal.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing. They can sense it if you're not 100% fluent, and they don't like it.
No, they don't really care for it, which, I respect them for just cutting to the chase and being no bullshit.
I guess that's true. It's sort of a different atmosphere. So can you speak to that, because you're in Toronto now, and what's the big difference?
Toronto is bigger.
More streets?
Bigger city. I think per capita, way more streets.
It's a mega city. Remember when they did that? They switched it from a regular city to a mega city.
Right. Is that like the GTA and all that?
That is it, yeah. So they took all like the boroughs, and they're like, it's just Toronto now.
Right. That is a clever way to make it a bigger city, not by like increasing population or anything like that. You just claim other cities as your own.
Just change the map.
Yeah. Canada is really like a huge city, but
yeah, we're all big. We're just 130 million person city.
Exactly. There's less snow in Toronto too. That's another big difference I've noticed over the years.
There's less snow in Montreal. You have to have like snow tires, right? It's the law.
I believe so. Yeah. So, I never drove in Montreal, but yeah, my parents and brother do. Still, so I'll go back and have to shovel the driveway every time I go back.
You got to shovel the driveway? Is it a big driveway or a small driveway?
No, it's small, but I'm pretty weak, so right. It might as well be like 100 feet long. You know,
it's problematic because the shoveling motion is not like a natural motion, and if you're doing it wrong, you're really gonna hurt your back. You're really gonna.
Yeah.
You got to be lifting with your legs.
Oh yeah, I've definitely done it wrong so many times, and only in the past few years have I been like mature enough to learn that just to put in the right effort that will make you not so sore the next day.
That's exactly right. It's like stretching before exercising. It's you don't want to do it. It's annoying, but it's worth it for not pulling every muscle in your body when you're just trying to shovel 6 inches of wet snow.
Oh yeah. It's the worst.
It's the worst. But, you're out of there now. You're in Toronto, so a little bit less snow, but more...
Yeah, no shoveling here.
No shoveling. And I guess you're getting around the city on transit, which is...
Yeah, I'm a TTC boy.
TTC boy for life. So are you on that Metro Pass life, or you on a Presto card?
I haven't switched to Presto, but I consider it often. I'll have you know.
So you're right on the edge of making it worth it.
Yeah, I'm right on the edge of them also just discontinuing the monthly pass in general.
Oh,
so
I guess that's
I think I'll have no choice.
Yeah. Some good Toronto transit talk for the listeners.
Yeah, that'll be relatable, I'm sure.
That's 2 weeks in a row. I talked about it with Janelle Dennis on last week's episode. Everyone go back and listen.
Oh, yeah. You got to hear her take on the TTC versus mine. We have a feud over it.
You got to hear it and let us know what you think. Mm-hmm. Get at us. All right, cool. So now you're in Toronto doing comedy, traveling around. You did the Adelaide Fringe Festival, one of your aforementioned credits.
Oh, yeah.
So that was good. How is Australia? I'm always interested to hear about international travels.
It was very awesome. Yeah, it's you go over there while it's happening right now, I believe. So you go over there during the winter in Canada and North America. So you get to go to like a beautiful Australian summer, and everyone's just in a really positive mood, and the culture there is like very relaxed and into festivals and partying. So it's a really fun time.
Yes, it's definitely on my bucket list. Would love to visit Australia. And, summer, I guess, would be the time to go. Everyone's super chill. And, you strike me as a person who is also very chill. I guess that's why you would fit in quite well in that atmosphere. Yeah.
They said that when I went down there that I was really chill. I was heaps chill. So it was fun, nice to fit in.
That's probably my favorite thing about Australia is all the fun slang.
Mm-hmm. Get to learn a bunch of words and... Heaps is a big one.
Heaps is a great one. I talked to my buddy Hoppers on one of the episodes, and he shared a bunch of them. Old mate, which means like that guy over there. A lot of great slang coming from down under.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Shout out to all the slang.
Shout out to great Australian slang. That's not a knife.
I get it because of The Simpsons.
It's a reference. Oh, it's a reference within a... You only get because the reference was within Simpsons.
Right. And now I know because of The Simpsons that it's Crocodile Dundee.
Right.
But I've never seen that movie, and I can't tell you any other part of that movie.
It's so crazy when you learn, like, a roundabout way, some sort of piece of pop culture, usually, like, through The Simpsons or some other... It's, like, being satirized, and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how I learned about, was Citizen Kane?
Yeah. Was it the same Simpsons episode?
Same Simpsons
or the one
episode.
with Mr. Burns?
Yeah, no need to actually see Citizen Kane. Oscar winner. Oscar winner. Bringing it back. All right.
Yeah.
That's great. I think we have a great, good idea about you now, about where you came from.
You probably know everything about me.
That's sort of just like a little WTF segment for the listeners. Who are you guys? Okay, so let's get into your story. And It is entitled The 10-Hour Cab Ride.
All right. I had a lot of trouble picking a story because when pressed for a story, I find it so hard to think of anything interesting.
And I apologize to you and every other guest who I have forced to think of a story. I think it's for sure the number one reason why a lot of people do not respond. But no, thank you for choosing one, a Sophie's Choice of Stories, and you've chosen 10-Hour Cab Ride. Yeah,
I just wanted to preface that this is the most recent interesting thing that I could remember happening to me.
Nice.
So I'll take you back, all the way back to like January 9th-ish, 2018. Scene, interior. Via Rail station, Montreal. Me and my girlfriend went to Montreal for New Year's, and we're coming back to Toronto. And we had booked a train back with our new kitten, and we were very nervous.
Oh, new kitten.
Yes, a very little itty-bitty kitty named Butter, who we love.
Oh.
Shout out to Butter.
Shout out to Butter.
And to take a cat or any pet, I guess, on the train, you have to book a train with cargo bay or cargo dock or whatever. And this was the only train that day that had it, but it was in the middle of a huge snowstorm.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to the train station, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can accept the pet, but we're currently delayed by like 5 hours, so you guys will just have to wait." And we're like, "All right, whatever." So having coffee, waiting for about 2 or 3 hours, get another notification saying that the train has now eliminated seating, so you have to go line up and just sort of hope you get one of the seats that's on the train.
Yeah, the classic thing that happens when you're traveling.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's like you buy a ticket, and then they're like, all right, this is a ticket for a chance to be on this vehicle.
Lottery travel.
Exactly. And so we're waiting in line. We get another notification saying that the cargo portion of the train has to be used for seating, so that part is now eliminated. So we have to go get our cat, and they're like, okay, you can take a train tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. back to Toronto if you want to come with your cat, which, we considered leaving the cat behind at the train station.
Butter convinced you.
Yeah, and then Butter, he talked to us and told us he was incapable of taking care of himself as he was like 6 months old.
So he voted no for that.
Yeah, he voted no. My girlfriend voted no, so I was outvoted. So then their other option was, instead of waiting another 12 hours to take a train back at 6 a.m. in the morning, we could take a cab from Montreal to Toronto. And we were like, okay, that sounds actually awesome, like a much better scenario. And they're like, okay, you just have to take it with these two other couples who are also taking pets. And two of the guys, it was a group of two dudes and then a guy and girl. And the two dudes were, I would say, in their mid-40s.
Okay. And
were, I would say, appeared to be really drunk. And this was like, 2 p.m.
Okay.
On a Wednesday or something. And we were like, fine, yeah, we'll go with these people. They seem really chill. I love meeting new people. I love, getting to know the locals. We ended up going, all of us, in a giant super van.
Okay.
To Toronto. And then halfway through the trip, or not halfway through, like a couple hours in, the girl and her boyfriend, who have a small dog, are like, oh, can we stop for food? And cab driver's like, yeah, we can stop. We're going to stop probably about in like 40 minutes. She's like, I know I have to stop right now. I have to go to the bathroom. So we stop at a casino because, they have, it's a typical place.
Yeah. They have bathrooms.
That's what they're known for. And she goes in with her dog, and then her boyfriend follows her. She comes out maybe 5 minutes later with a dog, and she tells us how the dog peed on the floor of the bathroom, which I would say is atypical for a dog. And her boyfriend is still not back in the cab like 30 minutes later, and she's calling him. And it turned out he had gone and gotten food at a restaurant in the casino. And
he went to a restaurant?
Oh, yeah. He went to a restaurant, but he got takeout, but it was like from a fancy restaurant in a casino.
Right. It's
While everybody was
not
just
like a quick. It's not like a McDouble to go.
Yeah, and I would say the tension in the cab at that point was very high between everybody.
So it's like 30 minutes of just everybody else just sitting in the cab with their animal.
Yeah, one of the dogs, I should also mention, was like a huge greyhound-ish kind of dog. One puppy and then one small kitten. And all the animals are sort of making noises because they're all in like cages, not happy.
Right. They're in their travel crates.
In their travel crates, and everyone is just sort of silently being mad that this girl's boyfriend was not, coming back very quickly. And about halfway after he gets back, whatever, they have a nice argument over him not getting food that she could eat also. So that was
no. I was going to say, like, at
for.
least I'm sure he's going to get something for everyone. He's going to get himself a meal, but he'll get a shareables plate for the van for the trouble, you know?
That would have been awesome, yeah. But, I would have done that for sure.
I know. You would have done that.
I would have done that, even though I am telling a story just besmirching this whole crew of people.
Yeah, you were there, literally could have done it, but did not. But you would have.
Yeah, but I 100% would have. Yeah. And then, anyway, so we continue our trip, and then, like, half an hour later, the girl gets a phone call and starts yelling, I would say, to the person on the other line about their money and how she's going to get the money and how she's like annoying everybody in the car right now. And also this is in, half English, half French, so it was kind of interesting to
piece it all together. The Franglish.
To piece it all together, to use, my bilingual diploma. And fast forward, it's taken so much longer just because of we were in a van taxi and the guy wanted to be very safe, because the reason the train didn't take off was because of a huge snowstorm, so it was like the roads were crazy.
So you're driving slower anyway, so it's already a delayed trip.
100%. And the man driving the car, he's like, okay, I just want to go, I just have to get some gas, but if you guys don't mind, I'm actually going to go to this gas station it's just like a little off of the, sort of, there's like a straight line from Montreal to Toronto if the listeners have not driven from those 2 points. But he's like, he knows of a gas station where the gas is extra cheap. And he's like, keeps telling, he's like, I'm going to show you guys. It'll be great for if you want to do this trip again one day, or, if you want to save gas on your trip up.
Yeah, do a gas run, bring extra jugs.
Yeah, exactly. Very, in my mind, like Beverly Hillbillies-esque maybe.
Yeah.
And then, so we go, another 40 minutes out of the way for that. End up back in Toronto close to like 10 p.m. and from a taxi cab that left at I don't know, whatever 10 hours before that would be.
Yeah, noon.
Yeah.
To 10 hours, yeah.
And we get out, and my girlfriend and I are just like so excited to get back to our apartment, whatever. So we tip him, and he's like, "Oh, can you tell the other guys to tip me?" Like the other passengers.
Yeah.
And I'm a very confident, outspoken guy, so I had no problem doing that. No, I sort of cowered away. I was like, yeah, I'll tell them. And I sort of like said bye to them. And I was like, as I was leaving, like, really quickly, it was like, oh yeah, so we tipped him. And then I just like left.
Do with that what you will.
Yeah.
Put this on your conscience.
Information.
Yeah.
I don't know how they interpreted it, but I hope everybody got home safe. And I would say that was the most interesting thing that's happened in the past month.
Pretty good, yeah. That's a recent one. That's this year that happened. In a new, fresh year. This was one of the first things that had kicked off your year.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a great omen for how the rest of my year will go.
Well, if anything, it's just it's going to completely improve from there, right?
It's true.
Right?
I hope so.
That's what I'm saying. Everything's going to get good. So Butter's doing well, adjusted to his new home.
Yeah.
He loves
the train station.
Does he have a French meow, or he has a Toronto meow now?
He's still got a Toronto meow, but he still loves the French culture.
Right.
He keeps talking about how he wants to go back to Montreal to party.
He's like, baguettes aren't the same, or the bagels aren't the same here.
Yeah, exactly. He says the secret's in the water in Montreal, he said.
That's what it is. The secret's in the water. All right, well, thank you. What a harrowing tale. And yes, I'm glad everyone made it through, and I wonder if those people ever got their money.
I know. I am. If I ever find out, I'll let you know.
Please do, and I'll do an update for the listeners.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
All right, so that concludes the story time. You made it through, and now we get into Talking Twitter. So it says here that you've been on Twitter since August 2009. What was it like? That is probably true. What was it like back then? What were you doing on Twitter in August 2009, the early days of Twitter?
That's true. I think I was only following people, and maybe not even following people for like another few years. But I remember just getting it because, I don't know, it seemed like it was going to be the new Facebook or something. So I was like, oh, yeah. I'm a 19-year-old.
That's right.
I love social media.
Mm-hmm. Early adopter.
I got to, secure, lock down the at Nick Nemeroff.
Yeah. At that point, it was already a thing that you had to lock in your handle, right? Like that. Right. So for any new things that was coming up, people already knew, like, oh, if I don't sign up right away, I'm not going to be able. I'm going to be like Nick Nemeroff 28 or something.
That's true.
Or what would it be?
You know what? I've come across another Nick Nemeroff now in my days.
Oh. And
I think he has the handle N Nemeroff, which, that's clearly much worse than the full name.
It's worse, yeah.
Yeah. And could be anything. It could be Nemeroff for all I know.
It could just be a typo. It could just be a typo.
Yeah.
But it's great to get your own name. I could not get Steven Skinner, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I had to throw in the W. But also it's great because it kind of distinguishes me against the accused murderer who is currently on trial named Steven Skinner. So
wow.
It's good to be...
I thought that was you.
Yeah,
I thought that's why you were trying to get into podcasting so much, You're trying to build a positive reputation.
Yeah, I'm in a Nova Scotia prison right now. Just
nice.
This is my free time. So I'm glad that you were able to secure your handle at Nick Nemeroff on Twitter and Instagram.
So I got them both.
Early adopter, just right on there. So that's good.
Exactly. Any app I hear of, I immediately go on and stake the claim to Nick Nemeroff.
The new one this week is the Vero, I think. Have you got on that one?
No, but I'm signing in right now.
Click. I hear the keys clicking. So Vero is the new one. So yeah, get on that.
Cool. What is Vero?
It's a social.
Difference?
It's a social network that goes back to like this is your timeline, no algorithm. So it's like backlash against the algorithm. I'm pretty sure. I have myself not signed up, so. But if you're on Vero, let us know and be sure to follow Nick Nemeroff on Vero. So let's see. What has been one of your most memorable interactions on the platform of Twitter?
My most memorable one, I tweeted a license plate that I found in Toronto that was, I think the license plate was like BHNK172. And I tweeted... such an influential band to me growing up, or something along the lines of that, and then just the picture.
Perfect.
And when I went and I tweeted it at like midnight one night, and then the next night woke up, looked at my notifications, and had like, by far, like, I've never gone, viral, quote unquote, but this was like in the thousands of retweets and thousands of likes, and I think previously my high was maybe, 5 retweets, 25 likes.
So this one blew that out of the water.
Yeah, it was demolished it. But it was because eventually I didn't tag Blink-182 in it at all or anything, but eventually somehow made its way to Mark Hoppus, and he retweeted it. And he's got, millions of followers and stuff. And I also was just a very huge Blink-182 fan for my teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that was I count that as an interaction, even though it was just him pressing retweet and he didn't reply when I wrote, thanks for retweeting.
Right. I agree. That's a great interaction. The Hoppus retweet. I was a huge Blink fan growing up ever since like the get-go. And yeah, that Hoppus, when I saw that happen, I was like, oh, that's amazing to see that to come through. But I think I liked it before Hoppus got to it and it blew up. Yeah. So I was like, oh, it could be good. Just so funny. And that's what I love, because your comedy is it covers a lot of different forms, right? Mixed media, I would say. So you're very funny on Twitter, also very funny on Instagram. Yeah, you do funny stories. So just, you're the whole package is what I'm trying to say. Listeners, check them out.
Yeah, thank you very much, dude. I love mixed media. Any media I find, love to mix it.
You're mixing it up on the media and doing a great job. All right, so yeah, great interaction with Mark Hoppus. Shout out. Now, what is the weirdest thing that has happened? Woo!
Ooh, the weirdest thing that has happened on Twitter. I don't know if I've had weird interactions,
You stayed safe.
Yeah.
Right,
I mostly, if somebody writes back to one of my tweets and I either don't have anything funny to say, or if I find it weird or whatever, I'll just, like it and try to be
That's good.
supportive.
Yeah, you keep it positive because, some people will just ignore those weird ats that you get. But, sometimes you can just give them a like, and that's all they're looking for. They just want someone to say, I see you. I see you.
Yeah, we're all just looking to be seen.
We're all just looking to be seen. So thank you. All right. What about an interesting or fun interaction with a celebrity or brand? Not including Mark Hoppus.
Not including Mark Hoppus.
Angrily tweet at Toaster Strudel or whatever, like some people?
No, not specifically Toaster Strudel. I'm trying to think. Brands.
Because some people like to, get at brands online. And sometimes
brands have become so good at, being weird Twitter.
Yeah, they ingratiated themselves online with their young interns who know how to tweet.
Right, and that's why I love brands. Like, they just get me, and that's why I'll always be loyal to all the brands that I love.
Shout out to our brands.
Yeah, shout out to brands, corporations. Yeah, fuck, I wish I had a better answer.
Hey, no, that's okay. Not everybody does it. I just throw it out there because it's part of the questions. So, the fun interaction was the Mark Hoppus one. And everyone go check that one out. It's your number one tweet. Yeah,
you got to check it out. You got to scroll back through my timeline and find a tweet that has a lot of RTs.
Is it on Instagram also?
Yeah, I think it was. I think I did a double post.
Media. Yes, nice.
You got to milk one of those when it's that good,
That's right. And then you link to both of them on your Facebook.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm just like, boom, it's just a circle of the same thing over and over and over again.
And catch me on my Vero.
Oh yeah, it'll be up there soon.
Link it. It'll be on Vero ASAP, and all available on nicknemeroff.com.
Exactly.
All right, so we got a couple of questions here about Twitter left, and the first question is, who would be your dream follow back? Now, this is someone who you're currently following, and you would love to have them follow you back, like maybe like a Mark Hoppus or something.
All right, I'll be honest. I don't follow Mark Hoppus.
Oh, here we go.
I know. Maybe that's why he didn't write back, because he saw I'm not a true Hoppus head. My dream follow back, I will say, and I am embarrassed to say this because I feel like I know enough of his friends that they would make fun of me for saying this, but I'll say Nathan Fielder.
Nathan Fielder. Nathan for you. Great Canadian comedy person. Laugh Sabbath alum. Yeah, you'd think that, you guys rub enough similar elbows. Hang out in the same cabaret space sometimes.
Totally. I can't believe he doesn't follow back everybody who hangs out in the comedy bar cab space.
Yeah, what the heck? What the heck? Yeah, I mean, like, he tweeted at me one time, or we had like a back and forth, but it was back before the show. He only had like 2,000 followers. So,
nice.
So nothing.
What was your back and forth?
He asked for like a caption. It was like a caption contest. So he posted like a picture, and I posted a caption. He liked that one. So, but he never followed me back. He never followed me back either. So come on, Nathan.
I'm sure after this episode he'll follow us both back. He'll probably unfollow all the people he's following now and follow us too.
That would be. I mean, he doesn't have to unfollow anybody. He just has to follow both of us.
Right, that's true.
Right.
I guess I was just dreaming big.
That's true. Which brings us to our next question and the final question in our Talkin' Twitter segment. It is the ultimate dream follow back. Now, this is any person, real or fictional, living or dead. Who would you like to follow you on Twitter?
I would guess maybe God.
All right, yeah.
If they followed me.
Well, the God has a lot of accounts online. So
that's what I've seen.
Some of them are very popular. Yeah,
it's true.
He's got a lot of material to work with.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't believe in a he.
Did I just gender God?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, to be followed by, an all-knowing, omnipresent, omnipotent being, that would be cool.
It'd be pretty sweet. And even, like, getting a like would be sweet.
Getting a retweet would be insane.
A retweet? Oof. That'd guarantee your entrance into heaven, you would think.
Yeah, I think for God, RTs equal endorsements, actually. Which is interesting.
True. I think that's everybody, but even if you say it's...
True, that is the law. Yeah.
That's right. All right, well, thank you. You made it through the gauntlet of Twitter questions, but now we get into the tweets. So I have asked you to select one of your tweets to be read on the podcast. Would you like to share it with us?
I suppose I do. This was all another part where it was like looking through my old Twitter and trying to find a tweet that I felt confident enough and like, yeah, this is the one I want to be known for.
Well, this is it. Listen up.
Might not look it, but I'm a white guy with dreads. The future, the past, the present. I dread it all, folks. And then a smiley face.
The smiley face, it's kind of part of your signature, part of your brand. It's a great, because you're having fun with it. We're all having fun.
Exactly.
I think that's, I really like that one. I dread it all.
Mm-hmm. That's some classic wordplay, and you're quite the wordplay aficionado yourself, so I'm sure you've encountered a lot of wordplay.
I've encountered wordplay. I do enjoy it, and I relish good wordplay. So thank you for that one. From January 23rd, 2016. Good time.
What a day.
Good time for tweets.
Yeah, great.
All right, now my pick. I have selected from Nick's vast catalog of hilarious tweets is this one. Okay, if I'm being honest, kind of annoyed I spent all that time on the effigy and then you guys just burnt it.
Oh, wow. That's an old one, I feel like.
It's an old one from October 21st, 2016.
Oh, damn. That's a horrible time for tweets.
141. Yeah, that pre-Halloween
the slump
malaise that we all get into. Yeah. No, I think that was a great one. Nothing like a good burnt effigy joke.
Yeah, exactly. Because either wordplay or burnt effigies. Most of my online humor.
You don't see many these days, but I'd love to hear about them.
Yeah.
And now we get into the picks from others on Twitter. And the first pick comes in from Dan Licata. And this person was also mentioned on the Darren Springer episode. So this is the second Dan Licata tweet that we've had here.
It was the same one?
No, a different tweet.
No.
Just the same gentleman.
Oh, sorry. I see.
Yeah, so this is a tweet. I am not sure how to read this. Would you like to try to read it? Or do you have a
Sure. I find this, I'm reading it now and just laughing because I still find this tweet so funny.
It's very funny, but it's a challenge to read, so let's hear Nick Nemeroff reading the tweet.
Today, I called my teacher Chum Lee, in brackets, from Pawn Stars, instead of her real name, in brackets, Miss Adamski. She kind of looked like him, cry face. All of a sudden, she ran out of the room crying, ... Turns out she used to date Chum Lee, and he dumped her on the day of Brexit via Viber. In brackets, a free messaging calling app. And then I don't know how to describe the next emoji. Like the...
Yeah,
I don't know.
The teeth showing emoji.
Yeah, teeth showing, like the non-smile teeth showing emoji.
Yeah, the emoji.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know why. There's so much in that tweet that
There's a lot going on in the tweet, a lot to break down. Dan Licata, I guess, great American comedian. Have you ever done a show with him or seen him, or how'd you come across him?
He's just popped up in my feed a bunch because of a lot of people favoriting or retweeting him, and then. Yeah, I've never seen him live, but his Twitter is hilarious. It's at Dan Licata Sucks. And his tweets are all sort of... I think it's so funny to just tweet as if you're so dumb. and he does that extremely, extremely well.
Yeah, that's a great. If you can hear, it's a consistent voice.
Totally,
just a real dumb character. And if you can nail a consistent voice, oh, that's great. That is the key. Yeah, all the parentheticals in this are add a layer.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the emoji punctuation adds a layer. And then dumped her on the day of Brexit.
Yeah, like so much detail of such silly things. And that he tagged Viber in it is
unnecessary.
Also find funny.
Yeah, and then the like coda via Viber, a free messaging app. Yeah,
free messaging. I think a free messaging calling app makes me laugh the hardest at all the elements in the tweet.
It's got it all. So everyone got to go check out Dan Licata at Dan Licata Sucks on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Nick. What a great pick. Now let's get into the second tweet that you've picked. Selected from hundreds of tweets on Twitter, you have selected this one from Ben at Benst. So that is 4 N's.
That's true.
BE 4 N's ST.
Yeah, his name is Ben Sk8orDie, a Toronto comic who is so funny. Ben Sk8orDie.
Ben Sk8orDie, okay.
Yeah.
And I'll share the tweet, and it is this. I wish that managing my depression was as easy as managing the multiple Tenacious D cover bands on my talent roster. All very cooperative and professional.
Yeah. It's he's also got a very consistent voice on Twitter. He is. You think he's maybe if you know what he sounds like, it's even funnier. But I love that tweet because it's got again a very weird amount of detail and has a very like uplifting, positive thing twist at the end.
Yeah, kind of an obscure, weird, absurd reference. A bunch of Tenacious D cover bands that he's managing.
And they're all very cooperative.
They're all cooperative and professional. Like that's the best part about it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well I checked him out, and he's in the Toronto Make Me Laughs currently on at Toronto Sketch Fest.
That's true. So, Toronto Make Me Laughs also a very hilarious sketch group around town, even when it's not Sketchfest.
Even when it's not Sketchfest, check them out, everybody. Have you ever dipped your toe into the sketch or improv waters?
I have a little bit. I met my friend Gavin Pounds through doing sketch in university for a sketch group that I never felt great about my contributions or, participation in. Okay. But Gavin was very funny, and so I was happy to get to meet him and hang out with him from that. So that's my connection to sketch and improv is I have a friend who does it.
Oh, that's good. So you plucked a pal from the world of sketch and improv. And your show kind of has a little bit of that feel. You're kind of a character on your Sk8orDie show, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we host it in character for sure. And we do maybe not a sketch, quote unquote, but like we have a through line through all our shows. Yeah. So we have a narrative,
Yeah, that's what I liked about it. Yeah, the narrative ties everything together on your show, punctuated by great comedy acts in the cabaret space at Comedy Bar. Very funny show. I got a chance to check it out, and it was standing room only, folks. This is a popular show, and it was hilarious. Stacked lineup, everybody killed. I mean, it was great.
Thanks.
Yeah, it was great. And shout out to Gavin Pounds. Everyone should check him out at Gavin LBS.
Also true. Very funny tweeter as well.
Yeah, his picture looks like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that's kind of how he looks. But I think his picture also has a huge, maybe loogie from his nose.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
A little Easter
also,
egg.
He has, I should mention a very, very funny Instagram character called Randall Walsh Enterprise, where he pretends to be a self-help guru, and it's really funny to see because he hashtags a bunch of stuff, and then real self-help gurus who are so dumb they DM him and try to ask him what he's working on at the moment and stuff, and they don't really understand it's a joke.
That's awesome.
I do love that. Yeah,
he's networking with real self-help gurus. This character.
Totally.
Well, that's great. Yeah, Gavin and yourself were very funny, so everyone check them out. All right, now we get into everyone's favorite segment. It is questions from Twitter. Bum, 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 bang. So we got a few questions in on the old Twitter machine, and the first one comes to us from Thomas Brendel at The Solemn Bard. And Thomas asks, since anagrams are destiny, how do you interpret fence for mink? Will you buy and sell stolen furs or do manual labor at a mink farm? So Thomas loves an anagram. So if you'll see the fence for mink is a Nick Nemeroff.
That's an anagram for Stephen Skinner.
Stephen W. Skinner. I double-checked it. I triple-checked it, and it worked out. So, yeah. Interesting question. Thomas.
All right. So what were the two options?
It was buy and sell stolen furs or do manual labor at a mink farm. Ooh.
I would love to buy and sell stolen furs because that seems, as I said before with the shoveling, I was really against it. So manual labor, I'm too, I'm an intellectual. I can't do manual labor.
Averse to manual labor. So you're going to turn to a life of crime. You're going to fence these minks.
Yeah. I think if I have to choose between those two, I'm fine to steal some mink.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. That's like a small animal? Right?
Yeah, pretty small. You'd be able to grab that pretty easy, I think.
Okay, cool.
All right. So thank you very much, Thomas, for the interesting question and great anagram. And the next question comes to us from friend of the show, Steve versus Ninjas. And he asks, boxers or briefs? Which would you rather be killed by?
Oh, that's one I've been wrestling with for a while. Yeah. I would rather be killed by boxers because they seem more laid back. So it seems like more of a chill, relaxed death. And
chill, relaxed, and as we have already determined, that fits your lifestyle.
Exactly. I think briefs are too formal.
Yes, I agree. Briefs would be, and how do you think they would kill him, right? Because briefs would seem like they would suffocate you.
Right.
But how would boxers do it?
I would say suffocate over a really long time.
Just suffocate, but in a different, slower way?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I would have to get a bigger neck or something. I would have to do some of the work.
You have to help.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the question, Steve versus Ninjas. And the next question comes to us from Llama in a Tux, at Llama in a Tux. And Kevin asks, if you could be any animal, what would you choose? Now, if you can be an animal that gets to shoot lasers from its eyes, what do you want to be now?
Well, I'm confused a bit. So I get
So it's a multi-part question. So first, If you could be any animal, what would you choose?
Oh, okay. If I could be any animal, I would choose to be a dog.
Dog.
A nice dog.
Okay. Any particular breed? What are we thinking?
Ooh, Bernese Mountain Dog.
All right. Love the markings.
Yeah. Nice markings.
Good markings.
They're gigantic.
They
seem really lovable.
Yeah, super lovable. That's a great answer. All right. Now, if you can be an animal that gets to shoot lasers from its eyes, what do you want to be now?
Well, now I got to change it up, obviously. I would be a wiener dog.
Still a dog. Also good markings.
Different breed.
Yeah. And
this one's, I think they're more hunters and stuff, so I think the lasers would really come in handy for that.
Right, but you'd just be shooting people's ankles off.
Yeah, that's fine, because I don't want to kill anybody. I just want to let them know that I'm around.
Yeah, and hopefully not too powerful, so just sort of maybe is warm on your ankle, not shooting through it or something.
Yeah, exactly. Just sort of like a little pinch.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you very much for your question, Llama. And that's a great answer. All right, a couple questions left. This question comes to us from Hugh Goes There, at Hugh Goes There on Twitter. And what's more likely to be fake news? Moon landing or Loch Ness Monster?
Well, first off, Loch Ness Monster is real, moon landing is fake, so I gotta go moon landing.
So moon landing is fake news. Loch Ness Monster, you've got the proof. What? Have you been to Scotland? Have you traveled?
I've never been to Scotland. Yeah. I've never watched any video or read any proof about it, but I just have a good feeling that the Loch Ness Monster is real.
Well, your gut's never been wrong before, so you heard it here first. And moon landing being fake, we've seen tons of evidence for that. Like, it was clearly filmed on a soundstage. Like,
Clearly.
the flag moves.
Yeah.
Remember?
And I remember. And the fact that they show the moon is, round when everyone knows that the moon is flat. So
yeah,
there's a lot of mistakes that they made when they were trying to sell it to us.
You're a flat mooner?
I'm a flat mooner. I call us the real, instead of the truthers, I call us like the realers. So.
All right, so that gets to the bottom of that. I would love to visit Loch Ness.
It would be cool.
I think that would be cool. All right, so thank you very much, Hugh, for the question. And we got a couple questions left. The next question comes from Stefan Arkel at Office of Steve, a nice Toronto Twitter guy. And his question is, if you could be any Ninja Turtle, which one would it be and why? Great question.
Wow.
Great question.
Great question. I would choose... Which one likes pizza? I like... it would be that one.
I think they all like it, but Michelangelo seems to be the most...
Loves it.
He is 100% about it. He's always talking about it. He's the guy who goes and pays the pizza guy. He's probably the one ordering it too, right? So I would say Michelangelo he's a party dude.
Okay. I would do Michelangelo then. I'd like to be a party dude. People seem to like Michelangelo. He's well respected by his peers.
He's a
good
chill
at his job.
and party dude. Yeah, yeah. Raphael's kind of the sour, sassy one. Donatello's like more of the nerd one.
Oh no way, dude! I did not want to be a nerd.
And Leonardo's like the jock one, sort of like straight edge guy, right?
Right. I could be a jock.
You could be, yeah. But you're more on the pizza end.
I'm more in the pizza. Let's have a good time.
Cowabunga, if you will.
Or if you will, yeah. If you want to.
if you desire, you may cowabunga. So thank you very much for that great answer and great question, Steve. And the final question comes to us from Katie Didn't at pork_chop_hair. And she asks, if you had to choose one, Cheez-Its, Cheese Nips, or Goldfish, which one?
Ooh, cheese nips are the fake nipples that are cheese, or no?
Yeah, you suck like cheese whiz from them. No.
My god!
No, I think they're triangles. They're triangles.
Oh, I see. Out of all those, I think I've only had Goldfish, and I quite like them. So I'm gonna go Goldfish.
Gonna say Goldfish.
I'm sorry.
You haven't even touched it. You haven't even touched the nip.
I've never touched a cheese nip. Never touched a Cheez-It, but I love Goldfish.
All right, Goldfish. Final answer. Thank you very much, Katie, and thank you to everyone who has sent in a question to FOTS Pod on Twitter, and be sure to follow it and send a question for a future guest. All right, so now we can begin to wrap it up. Now, you mentioned that you're passionate about sports. Your teams, the Denver Broncos, Montreal Canadiens, not doing great this past year.
No, they both... Canadians probably will miss the playoffs, and Denver missed it by quite a lot.
Quite a lot, and things aren't looking great for next year. Or, quarterback situation unquestionable, and...
Oh, yeah. I think, they're looking to address it in either the draft or free agency, but it's not looking great for the long-term future, I would say. So, but we did win the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So
yeah,
it's
so
hard
that's the key. So you've got to celebrate that sweet, sweet victory.
Exactly.
So how was that? Were you watching the game wearing a jersey, having a great time?
I was watching the game. I don't know if I was wearing a jersey. I was having a great time to answer all three of those questions right off the bat. I was watching it on a computer at my sister's house in LA, and it was great. They came in as the underdogs, and I had sort of become less fervent of a fan after going to Australia, not being able to watch it for those that year or so that I was there.
Yeah, so that's a big chunk of the season.
Yeah, exactly. And so I sort of fell off, and I realized not watching it actually doesn't. impact how the game is played or sort of my happiness at all. So maybe
Right.
it's good that I fall off a bit and get less passionate about it.
Yeah,
But,
and get some sweet Australian sun.
yeah, exactly. Get some sun by staying in, the dorm that I was staying in.
It's right in front of the air conditioner.
Yeah, exactly. And anyways, the next couple of years, they sort of reloaded and got quite good. And I got to watch it more just for the fun of it rather than like putting all my emotions on the line. So it was nice, a nice little break. But
okay, so you distanced yourself a little bit, so the heartbreak of loss wasn't as intense as it had been.
Right, but they ended up winning, so it was like, I kind of wish maybe I had been as fervent of a fan, because then it would have meant more to me.
Would have been even sweeter. Well, congratulations on your win. Have you seen the Canadians win a cup? I guess they won They won in 1993, but I was 3 years old, so I don't remember. Just too soon for you.
Yeah, they've been in not in the Stanley Cup Finals, but in the Eastern Conference Finals once, I think, since I've been a huge fan. And I think if they won, that would mean, I think, more, because it's really tied to a lot of the culture and identity in Montreal, obviously. And being away from there, it's like one way to sort of keep in touch with the city. Yeah, just by watching them in Toronto.
Yeah, that's true, because there's a big rivalry between the Leafs and the Habs. Yes. So when there's Leaf-Hab games on, you can cheer for them, and everyone can boo you when you cheer for them getting a goal. Yeah. And that's kind of fun, right? Like
it is. You get to just sort of be a bit of an ass and make your friends annoyed, which is nice.
That is always fun to do when you can do it in a fun way.
Totally.
And support
in a nice way. As we've already established, I'm a nice guy. So it's
nice,
not like,
fun way. Yeah. Well, I wish both those teams all the best, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. Just a good rest of the season.
That would be great.
For everybody.
Thank you for your well wishes.
Well, good. And so what about baseball? You do that at all? Or since you moved to Toronto, have you seen any Jays games?
I went to a couple of Jays games last year that I think were my first baseball games since maybe like the Expos when I was a teenager.
No way.
Pardon?
You went to see the Expos?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Because they would have like, the cheapest tickets you've ever seen, like $5 for somewhere in the outfield, and we could just get a bunch of friends and go down there for an afternoon or a night when we were 13-ish, I'd say.
Oh, and, that's the stuff. Yeah,
that was really fun.
Those late days of the Expos. Rest in peace, Expos.
Yeah, they say they're going to come back, so I still have my... if I get back into baseball, I think that would be the only way.
Well, let's hold out hope, because I would love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Are you a big baseball fan?
Yeah, I get on and off the bandwagon. I didn't go to any games last year, but usually I go to several games.
Okay. For Toronto Blue Jays, you're a fan?
For the Jays. And when they did their playoff runs, I was able to go to some playoff games. That was...
Oh, nice. That cool. Must have been crazy, because the whole... that became like a huge event in Toronto. Like any bar you went to was full. Yeah, it was sort of just took the whole city. Yeah,
it was great. And it's great to cheer, with everybody in that atmosphere. It gets so intense. Playoff baseball in the city. All right. Well, I guess that sort of brings us to the end. So thank you very much, Nick. And now let's mention all of the things that you need to promote. Remember to follow Nick Nemeroff on Twitter and Instagram. Very funny stuff on both. You can check out all of his shows and a funny stand-up clip at www.nicknemeroff.com. And I should mention that he's going on tour with Everardo Ramirez. He's coming to Hamilton, Ottawa, Montreal, Kitchener-Waterloo, and Peterborough. And I'm going to try and make it out to the Hamilton date, so come on out, everybody.
Do it.
It's going to be great.
Come to all those shows. Yeah, everybody listening.
Everyone come to all those shows. And everyone come to Sk8orDie at hotmail.com every fourth Wednesday of the month at Comedy Bar in the Cap Space. I have gone to the show, and it was great. And shout out to the co-host, Gavin Pounds, on Twitter at GavinLBS. And what else is there? Catch you in America at all kinds of great festivals. You're in LA all the time. You've done like the Hot Tub Show, which is a very popular, fun show with Christian Shaw. And what else? What else, Nick?
I think that's about it. That's all I yeah,
can think of everything. Yeah.
Check out Butter. Come to my apartment if you want to meet Butter.
Definitely. Butter should be making an appear on your Instagram, right?
Oh yeah, he gets up there, one every 3 or 4 posts usually.
I think I put a picture of Butter out on the question call.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he was. He has sunglasses in that photo. Normally, he doesn't wear sunglasses.
But I get that vibe that he would be chill with the sunglasses.
Oh, totally. Yeah, he actually really liked it.
You liked it. Okay, good. All right, so that, I guess, begins to wrap it up. And now I will play the theme, and we will say our goodbyes. So thanks, Nick, for coming.
Thanks, Steven. Thanks for having me.
And go ahead and enjoy Hollywood's biggest night.
Yeah, I'm going to get back to the Oscars right now and just have to catch my plane.
Coming to you live from the red carpet.
Yeah. Peace.
All right, thanks. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode with Nick. He is great. Check him out on all the mixed media and see him live in your town. Here are your reminders. Follow at FOTS Pod and send a question for future guests. I love getting them and the answers are fun. I am at Skinner Steven on Twitter for jokes. And you can visit www.stevenskinner.com for all the old episodes and on iTunes. You can subscribe and leave a review. Please and thank you. I think we just need one more. Thank you to Ruby Coast for the music and RIP Ruby Coast. Thank you to Kyle I. Davidson for the theme. And thank you so very much for listening. I am Stephen W. Skinner bidding you have a great one.